Caitlin Clark is just such a class act. She was incredible, breaking all types of records, and that's something she was certainly proud of. We saw lots of smiles on the court.
In all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away.
In a jaw-dropping twist, Caitlin Clark, one of the brightest stars in women's basketball, has made a decision that has fans and the WNBA in shock. She's packed her bags and signed a lifetime contract in Europe. That's right. Caitlin Clark is headed overseas, leaving the WNBA behind, and people can't believe it. What led to this shocking move? Let's dive into why Caitlin Clark has decided to take her talents across the Atlantic and what this means for the future of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's rookie season in the WNBA was nothing short of spectacular. She became a beacon of hope for the league, carrying teams on her back, filling arenas, and sending TV ratings through the roof. Her unmatched energy, clutch plays, and basketball IQ had fans tuning in every night.
Voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with."
Yet despite her undeniable impact, there was always an underlying tension in her relationship with the league. From questionable officiating to a salary that barely scratched the surface of what she truly deserved, Caitlin's WNBA experience was far from ideal. She once openly voiced her frustrations, saying she felt hammered on the court with minimal protection from the referees. And let's not forget her rookie salary, $300,000 over 4 years. For the player single-handedly driving WNBA viewership and jersey sales, that's pocket change compared to what she's worth. Despite her enormous contributions, the WNBA seemed to take Caitlin for granted. Instead of making her the undeniable face of the league, they kept things balanced, distributing attention equally among players. But for a generational talent like Caitlin Clark, that just wasn't enough.
On a bargain basement deal and is telling her, well, we're going to wait.
Nike landed one of the rare generational.
The league didn't seem ready to embrace her star power. Then came the infamous eye poke incident in her first ever WNBA playoff game, one of the many moments where it felt like the league wasn't protecting its most valuable player. A dirty play, no foul called, and still, Caitlin pushed through, but it became clear that her time in the WNBA was turning into a frustrating uphill battle. Enter Europe, where Caitlin's worth was not just recognized, it was celebrated. In a stunning move, Caitlin Clark has signed a lifetime contract with a European club. You heard that right, lifetime. This isn't just another off-season stint. This is a full commitment. And while the WNBA hesitated, Europe rolled out the red carpet. European teams know her value. They're ready to treat her like the superstar she is, offering her the paycheck and respect that the WNBA failed to provide. For Caitlin, it was an easy decision. Why stay in a league that undervalued her when she could get the treatment and salary she deserves overseas? So, what does this mean for the WNBA? Well, losing Caitlin Clark is like losing the heart of the league. She wasn't just another player. She was the player. The future of the WNBA was riding on her shoulders, and now that she's gone, the league is left scrambling. TV ratings, merchandise sales, fan engagement, all tied to Caitlin, and now all in jeopardy. This move is a wake-up call. If the WNBA doesn't step up and start compensating their stars accordingly, Caitlin won't be the last to jump ship. Europe is proving that they are willing to pay top talent what they're worth, and other players are watching. The WNBA is at a crossroads. Either they start investing in their stars, or they risk losing them. Caitlin Clark's move to Europe is about more than just her. It signals a shift in the landscape of women's basketball. The WNBA has long been the pinnacle for American women's basketball players, but Europe is now emerging as a serious contender for top talent. The pressure to perform at such a high level might be overwhelming, especially since she's now representing not just herself, but also the legacy of Iowa basketball and women's sports in general. Plus, there's the language barrier and the need to build new relationships with teammates and coaches. All these factors could impact her performance on the court. And let's not forget, there's always the risk of injury, which could jeopardize such a long-term commitment. So, while it sounds great on paper, there are definitely hurdles she'll need to overcome. Let's break down the specifics of this contract. The financial details are absolutely jaw-dropping. Reports suggest that Caitlin will be earning a multi-million-dollar salary, which is almost unheard of for women's basketball players. To give you some perspective, this contract could surpass what some players in the WNBA make over several years. It's being compared to some of the top contracts in women's sports, and it's clear that there's a shift happening in how female athletes are valued. This contract not only reflects Caitlin's talent, but also signifies a growing recognition of the potential for women's basketball to draw big audiences and generate significant revenue. But with such a deal comes expectations, and Caitlin will need to deliver on the court. No pressure, right? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The most surprising aspect of this contract? The reaction from fans and analysts. Many were absolutely thrilled, but others voiced concerns about whether it's too much too soon. Some fans are worried that such a long-term commitment could limit her options in the future, especially if she wants to return to the WNBA or explore other opportunities. On the flip side, analysts are calling it a groundbreaking move for women's sports, suggesting that this could pave the way for future generations of female athletes to secure similar deals. The debate has exploded on social media, with hashtags trending and opinions flying left and right. It's become a hot topic in both sports and pop culture, and rightly so. So, to wrap things up, Caitlin Clark's lifetime contract in Europe is not just a personal milestone. It's a significant moment for women's basketball as a whole. We've explored the potential challenges she faces, the financial implications of her contract, and the mixed reactions from fans and analysts alike. It's a pivotal time for women's sports, and Caitlin is right at the forefront of this change. Her success could open doors for many future athletes, and we're all excited to see what she does next. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's lifetime contract? Do you think it's the right move for her career? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. With their willingness to offer big contracts and respect to players like Caitlin, we might just see more players follow her lead. And for Caitlin? Well, she's living her best life, basking in the glory of her new role, and getting the superstar treatment she's always deserved. The WNBA might be in her past, but her future in Europe is looking brighter than ever. So, what do you think? Was Caitlin Clark's move to Europe the right decision? Should the WNBA have done more to keep her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, Caitlin Clark. If you've been following women's basketball, you know she's been making waves. As a standout player at Iowa, she's become one of the brightest stars in the game. Now, she's just signed a lifetime contract in Europe, and that's a huge deal. Not only does it show the increasing recognition of talent in women's sports, but it also raises a lot of questions. What does it mean for her career? What are the implications for the league? We're about to uncover all of that and more, so stick around. Now, you might be wondering, what challenges could Caitlin Clark face with this new contract? First off, adapting to a different league can be tough. Europe has its own style of play, and the culture is completely different from what she's used to in the US. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all things basketball. Caitlin Clark may have left the WNBA, but her story is far from over.